my analyzation, my analysis is the word. Here it is. This is what we use every year. I've iterated on this every year. I've made it better. It does not have all the fancy dashboards and crap that you're used to seeing. This is bare bones because it works and it's better. And I promise you that. It has been better for us. This is the main sheet right here of transactions. I've got some fake data in here that I've just thrown in to give you a flavor, a taste for what this looks like. Basically, what's happening when you first get this, you'll want to come to the Setup tab and enter into here all of your income accounts, where you get money from, all of your expense accounts, where you plan on spending money, and you can add to this as the year goes on if you want to create new accounts, and then all your payment accounts. What are the ways in which you pay for things? ATM card, Amazon card, check, whatever. So you enter those things in here as well as your starting bank account balance. All right, you need that. Over here in the transactions tab, it's going to pull in your starting bank account balance and start either adding or subtracting to that based on each of these rows. Each row is a transaction. Very simply, you come up here, you enter the date. If you're on the web version, you can double click the cell and it pops up the nice little calendar. If not, just type in the date, where you spent money, CVS, $10. And then right here, you can pick the category. So what category was this? You can change that. You can change the payment method in the next column in the same way. Say I used my ATM card for that. And then over here, it's going to detect whether or not this was an expense or an income account. And depending on that, it's either going to add to or subtract. So if we make this $1,000, see it goes down to $6,000 because our starting balance was $7,000. If we change this to an income account, so we make it a paycheck, well, it's going to go up to $8,000. Okay. Over here, we've got a type column. This just holds the value of income or expense account. That's useful for our graphs, which I'll show you in just a minute. That's why that's there. And same thing with the month. This detects what month the transaction is in, makes things easier in our graphs over here in a second. I've got two more columns, which are helpful for me, a reconcile and a clear column. So here's what I do. I've got an Amazon card that I get Amazon points for whenever we spend money on it. So I use that. As you can see, I've got Amazon right here for the payment method. I use that a lot. I'll pull up my Amazon statement. I'll enter into this green box right here, the credit card balance to reconcile. Let's say it's, I don't know, $1,200. Then I'll come down here. And a lot of times I will not filter these rows because every now and then I've got a typo and I have not entered Amazon when I should have. But assuming you've got everything entered like you need to, I will clear out up here in this slider. I'll clear out everything except for Amazon. And then it'll give me a nice list of my Amazon transactions. So from here, I can come through and I can look at my statement and, oh, I've got Kroger, I got church, books, and you see this number right up here going down closer and closer to zero. Let's see. Okay. So let's just make the numbers work. Equals that minus 1086. Once you match it up, this will turn green, indicating, hey, these are all the transactions that you are about to pay off in your credit card statement. So if it was $11.89.14 on my credit card balance, I'm going to check all these. I've got it tracked here in my tracking sheet. I'm going to go over to Amazon, or the Chase account rather, and I'm going to click pay because I'm paying $11.89.14. Then after I've done that, I can come here and I can just select all these and do the clear check mark. And that clears out with some conditional formatting all these things. So I know that, hey, I've paid for these. I'm keeping track of them in this ledger already as though I'm paying for them when I put them on my credit card, because that's how I roll and it's how you should roll too. But now I know, hey, I've paid for these. They're good. They're cleared. I don't need to worry about them anymore. They're not going to go away. I don't want to delete them because I want them for my graphs and my analyzation. My analysis is the word later. But then I can come back up here to the slider and I can click clear those out. And now I've got everything else. Say I have some ATM card expenses from my bank account. I do the same thing up here in this other green box in A1. Let's call it $1,200 there. I'll come through here and I'll click out all of the ATM transactions, and that number likewise will go down. Let's just call it $100. Well, we won't make that number work. I'm just making numbers up. But I'll do the same thing, reconciling my bank account and then clearing out all those transactions. And you can see that over here in column C, they stay grayed out if I've got one of these checked but not the other one. So it lets me know, hey, dummy, you missed something. Oh, okay, there we go, cleared out. So that's how I keep track of the reconciliation. You can do that on multiple cards. And then I've just got one checking account that I'm primarily keeping track of in this sheet for my own purposes. So I've got the one up there in A1, but you could do this theoretically with multiple accounts, multiple cards, however complicated you want your finances to be, which you shouldn't be complicating things, by the way. The whole point of this is to keep things simple. Okay, be that as it may, let's go on over to the Analyze tab, the last thing to look at here. And you know how in transactions, I said that we had this type column in this month column. That's pulling expenses and that's pulling expenses and income into this column, and whatever month the transaction occurred in into this one. That's so we can make looking at our cumulative data for the months and the quarters and the years a little bit easier. Up here, we've got a chart that as the year goes on, we're going to add columns to. Right now, we just have January expenses, so it's just going to show January, auto, clothing, donation, eating out, all the different areas where we had expenses in January, and then a grand total that, will get bigger as the year goes on. So we've got this in here to where we have this little pivot chart here is all this is, or pivot table. So we can look at where the categories are being spent. And then we've got the graph version. So we've got a big number right here for the bank account balance. This is what it says we have in our bank account according to our transaction sheet here. This needs to match our bank account, and typically it will. It'll be a little off depending on when we reconcile things. But this is our overarching balance. And another key feature and benefit that we love about this, a lot of these are credit card transactions in our case, so it hasn't come out of our account until we pay that. However, we operate under the assumption that we're paying for it at the time of transaction. So if I spend $400 on something right here today, I'm going to mark it $400, and my bank account balance, the stated balance here, is going to go down $400, because to us, that is a much healthier way to view our finances, and it's been a shift in mentality to get us away from credit card debt, which we don't have any at this point anymore, nor do we pay interest on any of our credit card spending, and into a mentality of, if I have money for it, I can buy it, and if I don't, then I can't. Like the old school, make more than you spend, right? Anyway, back to the charts. This is where our income versus expenses breakdown lives. We've got income up here. I've got the colors wrong. That should probably be green for income, whatever. Income and expenses, so you can get a bird's eye view of, hey, I've spent a crap load more than I've earned. That's not good. Red flag there. And then by month totals, as the year goes on, this will grow. You'll have a bar or a column chart for each one of the months. January right here, $5,200. And then by category. This is the more useful one for me personally, because it lets me see, okay, where am I spending my money? Well, it's for my home, my mortgage. Like, all my money's going there. Most of it is in the example transactions that we have here. You can also filter by years, by months right up here, and you can filter by type right up here. So the type thing is actually a good thing to filter by. If I want to take out the income, that's a more accurate view down here for the by month total, because it's going to pull in all the transactions. So it's going to add up expenses and income unless you filter income out. So this is the more accurate view, $4,200 in expenses for the month. That is how we do things. I've got a bonus sheet right here. This is a search sheet. It's just a simple little search formula, so you can type in letters or words here, and it will pull up all the transactions for all the years that matches that up. It is literally searching this column right here. You can custom build that and change it to search for other columns, other things, but I found this is the thing that I'm usually searching for, like when did I buy XYZ from Walmart or whatever. So I hope that's helpful for you. I hope you'll use this. I hope you see how simple it is. You can build this up on your own right now in the next 30, 40 minutes probably and get a basic working version. If you want all the minimal bells and whistles that I've built and want to just use this, which has worked great for me and my wife, you can check out the link in the description to grab it. I got a newsletter down there also that you'll probably find helpful, especially if you made it this far in the video about spreadsheets. I do a lot of spreadsheets, automations, using software tools, a lot of cool stuff in there, a lot of walkthroughs, tutorials that I bet you'll find interesting. Particularly, you can just go ahead and check this video out next because you'll probably find interest in it as well. You have a great one. Talk to you later.